you? Good to be back here tonight on this Saturday night for you guys. It is Sunday afternoon here. Good to be back. Got some very sort of sad news out of Florida, as you can see the photo up here. There was a missing person case that we had. It must have been over a month ago now, and it was a exotic dancer who was from Detroit, and then she had headed down to Florida, possibly to find work or to start a new life, and she just went missing. And the last time we had sort of heard from where she was at a Walmart and she had bought something and then left. Well, since we covered that story, a whole heap of new information has come out, but one of the saddest things that has come out of this is a couple of days after that, they found her remains in the water, but it wasn't anywhere close to where she was last seen. It was pretty far away. And I wanted to sort of go over it tonight and explain like what had happened because it's very weird. There is the FBI involved now, which is a bit strange that it's not the local PD taking this particular case. The FBI has basically taken over the entire investigation into Keisha Jones. Now, Keisha Jones was 31 years old. She was last seen in the early hours of June 26 at North Miami Beach, and she was seen at a strip club because she's an exotic dancer, right? And they're saying that there may have been some CCTV, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute, of her in her final moments with an unknown male. Not saying he has anything to do with it, just saying that that is one of the last people we know of that was with her before her body was found. Now, her body was found in the ocean near a NOAA facility in Florida, so not far from this. So you guys know NOAA. They are your atmospheric and oceanic research facility in the US. And interesting place to find her, right near their research facility. I'm going to show you. I want to show you a little bit more. Apparently, they're taking her remains back to Michigan, and she will be laid to rest in a few days. I think hopefully her family, they have all come down to Florida to sort of say goodbye at this memorial, but they are taking her remains back to Michigan to lay her to rest. The bit we have to sort of find out now is why and who would want to hurt this girl who had only been in Florida for a very short period of time after coming down there from Detroit. Now, she was last seen at North Miami Beach. They found her body at Biscayne Bay near Virginia Key, which, from what I understand, is not really that close to Miami Beach. Here, I'm going to have a look. Biscayne Bay. It's not really that close. It's about a 20-minute drive from each other. So I don't know how many miles. 14 miles. So 14 miles apart from where she was last seen and where she ended up in the water near Virginia Key. So not close at all. I want to show you this CCTV, and I want you guys to have a look at it and tell me whether you think you can see anything or notice anything. But first, in the first part of the video, it shows the memorial that they've had for her with her family. All right, here we go.
Families searching for answers after a 31-year-old woman was found dead in Biscayne Bay. Now the FBI is getting involved, looking into this case. And tonight, friends and loved ones gathered in Dania Beach for a candlelight vigil honoring Keisha Jones. NBC's Trish Christakis was there and joins us live with the latest. Trish?
Yeah, a very emotional night tonight. The family described this young woman as full of life, and now they are left with painful questions about her final hours. Take a look.
Keisha was my heart. She was my everything. I loved her dearly, and my heart is hurting so bad.
Friday night, candles and prayers filled the air in Dania Beach, where family and friends gathered for a vigil honoring 31-year-old Keisha Jones as investigators worked to piece together what led to her death.
We just had a feeling something was wrong.
Authorities say Jones was last seen the morning of June 26 at a North Miami Beach strip club, later possibly traveling to another location in Broward County. Days later, her body was discovered in Biscayne Bay near Virginia Key. The FBI has now taken over the investigation, while officials have released few details about what may have happened in the hours between her last sighting and her death.
I don't know if my sister suffered. I don't know if my sister was scared. I don't know her last moments. I don't know.
For her sister, the uncertainty is just as painful as the loss. Family members say they are still waiting for answers from investigators as they try to understand what happened.
I'm just patiently waiting because we are going to get those answers.
Her father says the family is now relying on investigators, hoping new information will finally bring clarity and closure.
Knowing that answers are coming and justice is coming.
As for her mother, the grief remains overwhelming as she remembers her daughter.
I love you and I'm gonna miss you and I can't live without you.
And the family tells me they plan to hold Keisha's funeral next week in Michigan, where they are originally from. Reporting in Miami, Trish Christakis, NBC6 News.
So this actually happened a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, and we weren't able to cover it at the time. But I wanted to give you the update because on the weekend when she was reported missing, we covered so much of what was going on with this investigation, and then we got caught up in other cases that we had been doing. I felt the need to come back and at least tell you guys what had transpired between the last time we had spoken about it and now. So I want to sort of run you through the timeline for some of this stuff. So she's originally from Detroit, Michigan, right? She had recently moved to South Florida. Now, her father, who you saw on the video, his name is Richard, noted that she had been working as an exotic dancer while working to redirect her life and build a better future. Her father shared that she had recently started going to church and had entered into a new relationship. I don't know with who, it doesn't tell me. The initial missing person report was from the North Miami Beach Police Department, explicitly noted that she had no known physical or mental health problems. None. So the timeline of June 26, this is the last time she was seen. Around 6 a.m. in the morning, she was seen at a gentleman's club called Dean's Gold, located at 2355 Northeast 163rd Street in North Miami Beach. Investigators established that she then left Dean's Gold via a booked rideshare service. The rideshare operator dropped her off at Scarlett's Cabaret on Hollandale Beach Boulevard, so in Broward County. The last footage that you saw in that video, they are saying that she is captured holding hands with an unidentified man, and this footage is the last known sighting of her before she was then found in Biscayne Bay. So that is literally our proof of life, our last bit of video before they found her. So this happened on the 26th. On the 27th, her family started circulating the missing person flyers and reporting her missing. 3 days later, from the 26th, on the 29th, her body was found floating in Biscayne Bay. Her body had washed ashore on Virginia Key, directly near the NOAA Research Building. The location where her body was recovered is miles away from her last known location in North Miami Beach. So, yeah, like we saw, about 14 miles away from that cabaret club. So quite a distance, not around the corner or anything. What's interesting here is that the FBI has taken over the investigation. Like as soon as they found her body, dang, FBI has started taking over the case. Now, I was searching around trying to find out like why would the FBI take over a local investigation like this? And I came up with a couple of reasons. Some of them very mundane, and some of them more interesting. But The most simple answer I can come up with is that it's because she's from Michigan and she's not actually from Florida. She doesn't have a residence in Florida. She's actually like, I know she had moved there, but it was only supposed to be short term. That the only thing I can think of is that she's crossed lines, some sort of county, state, something like that. And because you're dealing with two different areas, the FBI normally takes over on these type of investigations. They're normally ones who run point, especially when there might be evidence in another place or another area, and then they coordinate with the other local agencies, whether it's a sheriff's office or a police department. That's the most simple answer I can come up with. The more complex answer I can come up with is that there's some other evidence that is linking whoever did this to something else, because it is a little odd that they haven't told us anything about who this guy is. They are not doing any public lookout for him. Like, they're not saying, hey, can you look out for this guy? He's not in custody, we'd like to talk to him. It could also be that this man is not involved. He could have come forward and maybe already talked to authorities, and they've basically discounted him. But I can't find anything that says that he has been discounted, but not that he's a suspect either. So I it's a little odd. No one's been arrested. They are calling it an open death investigation, and they have stopped short of saying it's a murder investigation. They're just saying it's an open death investigation. So, yeah, it says here the FBI is the lead agency working alongside North Miami Beach PD. They are treating the matter as an open death investigation to piece together her final hours. No official cause of death or details regarding suspects have been given out to the public. But like you heard from her father, she has no known mental health issues and wasn't depressed or having that type of moment in her life. She'd actually been quite excited to head down to Miami and sort of explore a new place, get involved in a new area, and try and rebuild her life in a different way than it had been in Detroit. So, very, very bit weird. A NOAA employee? You reckon? Um, hey Chipmunk, how are you? Good to see you. What year was his over county lines? Let me have a look. Well, how do you define county lines with this girl? She doesn't live anywhere in Florida. So how can you say it's over county lines? I'd say it might be over state lines because she's originally from Detroit. But how would you define anything in this as sort of where, because she doesn't have like a home base. It's not like you can say she lives in North Miami. She doesn't have a home. She doesn't have a rental property. So it's hard to define in that way. Here, let me see where North Miami Beach, where do their lines are? North Miami Beach. I would think that the Keys would have their own PD. I would think so anyway. So Gardner Street, Biscayne Boulevard, Interstate 95. Okay. So apparently it looks like this maybe, apparently. This is sort of like the layer. I'm just trying to work out if that's true. This is the North Miami Code Ordinance zoning. So I would think that would be similar to the PD. Let's have a look. So either way, where her body was found was most likely away from the normal area. All right, Miami Beach. All right, here we go. So they extend. So there's the different precincts here, 1, 2, and this is also 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is their like neighborhood boroughs. It doesn't look like they go all the way down to the. Well, what is this bit here? No, it's not the right area. It looks like they don't cover where the body was found. Yeah, let me check out where her body was found. So they found her in Virginia Keys. Does they go all the way down to? It looks like maybe it is slightly outside of it, but maybe because that's where she was reported missing, that might be the lead agency. They did say it is North Miami PD who's doing it. I just want to have a look at the research facility if I can find it. Apparently, it's just here. What is this one? Virginia Key Verodrome. Is that the NOAA facility? Guys, I just want to try pull up that NOAA facility and show it to you guys. All right, NOAA. All right, let me have a look. It's presence on Virginia, Key, Miami, Florida includes. Yeah. I just want to know where it is. Ah, it's right here. Okay. Oh wow, it's really far out. Yeah, I'm gonna take you there and show you where it is. It's right here. I actually thought there's another facility on the other side, and I thought that's where they might have found her, but she was found right here. Let's have a look. So that's the NOAA facility. There's a bridge here. Someone could have driven across this bridge and dumped her off the side of it. I don't know if there's cameras here, but people have done that before. They've driven across bridges and, tossed people off the side of it. There's Virginia Beach. All right, let's zoom out. Like, what would be here to actually. Could she have come from somewhere else, though? It's possible. It's possible she was dumped further north and then has come down through here. So maybe someone even dumped her off like Miami Beach. If someone dumped her into the water far enough offshore, it's possible she could have been dragged south, and then see how it all funnels through here. It's possible that's how that happened. But they said they found her body right on this beach line, right here. They said right near the facility. So they pulled her out of the water right here. I want to see what you guys think about that. Whether you think it's more likely someone dumped her here or further north, because either one could be probably true. Yeah, about 3 days missing. Florida has lots of cameras. I wonder if that particular bridge has any cameras. I would like to know whether that is federal property being NOAA. Yeah, that could be true too. I mean, if she was found on what was, I don't know if they own the beach, but she wasn't found like in the facility. She was found maybe because it's in the water. Maybe this particular water is federal. It could be. Let me have a look at this bridge. What's it called? The Rickenbacker Causeway. Rickenbacker Causeway. All right, Ricken. Okay. That particular causeway, the Rickenbacker, it does have multiple cameras on it, including toll cameras and security and traffic monitoring cameras on the bridge. So this particular bridge, if someone did stop here and then dumped her over the side, they would probably be able to find the footage of it happening. That makes me feel like that's probably not where it happened, because they would have already arrested someone most likely, or they would have a car they could give to the public and say, "Do you know who owns this car? It was seen on the bridge in connection to this death of this woman." I would think maybe that would be something. Yeah, just want to have a look. So that's the bridge there. The NOAA facility is not in this picture. Um, to throw someone off the side of here, look at how you would have to do that. You've got these roadways, like in either direction, looks like 2 lanes in either direction. Then you have these giant concrete barriers on either side and the middle. But either side, you would have to hop over this with a body, then get to this railing on the outside and push someone over. I would think most likely you probably would be caught on camera doing that. So I would think it's probably not there. I would think it's probably not where it happened. I think you would have been caught. So if let me have a look further north. You know, there is a spot further north on the same key that if you were a person trying to dispose of a body, this would be a much better place to do it. I don't want to give people tips on how to dispose of bodies, but look at this. So this is a little further north than the research facility. Watch this. So the research facility is down here, right there. If we go north a little bit, there's this area right here that leads right onto the ocean. If I was someone trying to dump a body late at night, hoping no one would see me, this might be a very good area to do it. And that would tie into our theory that somehow she floated a little bit and got south from her departure point. Because if you look at the roads leading into here, watch this. You come off the here and you go down down to Virginia Key Beach, North Point Park, and then they're all back roads going up here. You've got some sort of giant facility here, but if you take the right, you end up coming up here and then right there. I think that would probably possibly be a better spot for it. And that would explain how maybe in a short period of time, we're only talking like a number of hours or half a day, that she could possibly enter the water and then be found down here. It wouldn't take very long for her body to sort of head down here. It's only, very close, like a mile or two. Because if we go south, there's not really anywhere you could do it here. These are all populated. Look, you've got car parks and lighting, and there's probably heaps of cameras throughout here. I would not think that you would get away with it along here. But possibly through this back area looks a lot more viable. There's even one here. I don't know what this place is, Outpost 33, but this looks like pretty desolate. And I'm guessing late at night, there's probably not that many people here. Yeah, either one. Either one of those two might be a viable option. And I'm guessing they're probably looking into it. So there's sort of what I've been able to come up with. Hey, Juicy Jules, how are you? Kim said committing crime the correct way with ping. I feel like sometimes half this half this channel is me correcting people's mistakes in crime. I uh yeah, I mean, I just try to give people a view of like where it actually happened. Sometimes when you just hear about it in a news report, it doesn't give you like a sense of what the actual area looks like. And I just like to, even just for me, I like to see the visualization of where we're talking about rather than just like some stock footage from the news. I like to actually see what we're working with. Um, Sweeniver said you'd have to stop your vehicle on the bridge to get to that point. Oh, you mean if you were going to use the bridge? Yeah, you would have to stop. And I'm guessing if you stopped on this bridge and the security cameras picked you up, doesn't matter what time of day or night, they would be sending someone out there to help you. Probably to be like, why are you stopped on the bridge? Do you need help? Can we call AAA? Like, can we get you off the bridge somehow? I'm guessing there would probably be someone, security or someone coming out to check on you. But up here, I suspect there's probably no one here late at night. There's a boat dock there too. But yeah, if I was just guessing of what might have happened, this looks like a pretty desolate place where someone might be able to pull up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning and try and get rid of a body, possibly. Yeah, I don't think you could. I think you'd get caught. Isn't that seawall pretty tall? Let me have a look. Here, let me switch you back to this. And then let me have a look here. Can we get to street level? It's actually pretty not that tall. Do you guys want to see what it looks like on the beach? It's a pretty old photo. Actually, can we get a better day? It's a very old photo. Apparently, Google has not come out here in like 15 years. It may look very different now. I would suspect it might. But at least in the photo that I have, like, this is what it looks like. Don't know if it looks like this anymore because they haven't come out here in a long time. But it's pretty open. I don't see any like severe things that would stop anyone from doing this. Yeah, you could walk to the end of this thing and then drop her in the water here, and then she could float down to the NOAA facility further down. Yeah, I think that might be. I mean, I don't know. I'm just having a look at the circumstances, like you guys. SP1 said, I stopped on a San Francisco bridge long ago and my battery died. It was a nightmare until they helped me. In less than 10 minutes, I was jumped and ready to go. Yeah, they don't want people stopping on those bridges because it makes like bank ups in traffic and stuff like that. They don't want that. All right, I want to take you to 7 News in Miami for one last update about this.
New surveillance video possibly showing a missing woman in her final moments. Her father says she was found dead.
And this morning, a federal investigation is underway as the family grows desperate for answers. 7 Sheldon Fox has more in this exclusive.
What happened to 31-year-old Keisha Jones?
I made contact with the morgue in South. They explained to me that between 2:30 and 4 a.m. that her body that fits the description was discovered.
Her father tells 7 News his daughter is dead and her body was found
on a beach or location or somewhere by the water.
From Detroit and via Zoom,
you know, she was a dancer.
Richard Furlow says he learned of his daughter's passing early Monday morning, and it's unclear how she died or where in South Florida her body was found. But
they got video.
Surveillance video collected by police shows some of her last moments alive.
She was in a period where she was changing her life and redirecting and refocusing her life.
Days after she went missing, over the weekend, North Miami Beach police had posted this missing persons flyer, saying she was seen at Dean's Gold on Friday before heading here to Scarlett's in Hallandale Beach. It's where the security footage shows her with the man, among others, at the strip club. We blurred the faces of everyone in the video except for Jones.
That was one of the places that she was last seen with the person that she was with.
Her father tells us he and other members of Jones' Michigan-based family had been waiting to hear more from officials until he got the dreadful news.
My family is broken. I mean, my sister just can't stop crying. Her sister, I've gotten so sick to the point where I've been having stiffness in my heart, my stomach. So I just try to just kind of keep it out of my mind because that's the only way I can survive.
7 News reached out to North Miami Beach police for comment, but they tell us the FBI is now in charge.
To stay strong.
Sheldon Fox, today in Florida.
7 News has reached out to the FBI. We are still waiting to hear back.
Well, no one has heard back from the FBI. I do have a comment from the FBI that they gave out. If I can grab it for you. They were approached for comment, and the FBI said, out of respect for the ongoing investigation, we will refrain from commenting on its substance. That is all they would say. And you would think by now, the medical examiner should have at least done an autopsy, and whether there is anything there that could say whether it's foul play or not, they haven't commented on that either. What I have here is a comment that says, law enforcement and the medical examiner have not yet released the official cause of death, and authorities have chosen not to explicitly state whether it is foul play is definitively involved. So I don't know if they're waiting on toxicology or something like that, whether they think there's something in the toxicology results that could help. But it's been about a month since she was located, and we don't even have whether this is foul play, whether the manner of death, what might that be, anything. Which, look, I would think a woman who seems to be having a pretty good night going to these different clubs doesn't seem like a woman who's going to walk up on a bridge and jump off it. It seems like she was having a pretty good time in North Miami and doesn't seem like someone who had plans to go and jump in the water. So I would say I have concerns about how else could she have gotten in there? And if the only other answer is by a third party, then what are the circumstances surrounding that? And there's just no details. I'm just trying to see here. So even the family doesn't know. The family's saying they are in disbelief at her death and are looking for answers about who she was last with and how she ended up dead. But they have not been told anything by the FBI so far, which is interesting. So just booked a ride share. So where was she last seen? What was this place called? Scarlet Cabaret. Scarlet Cabaret. Where is it? Booked a ride share to Scarlet's. Scarlet's Cabaret off. Give me a sec, guys. Actually, that's interesting. I want to show you that. They have a footage. Where's that footage? All right. Is that the place that we were just at? Is this the place that we were just looking at with the car park right there? You know how they said near a NOAA facility, but there's a car park here with boats right here and there. This is the area where you can see the cops walking in it.
Her body would be found here
See?
in the
There's
waters
the
off Biscayne
cops.
Bay, not far from a NOAA research
Oh,
building.
maybe there.
The
Okay.
FBI is now investigating.
So she really was found like
FBI Biscayne Bay sources, her body would be found here in the waters off Biscayne Bay, not far from.
So she really was where we said in that original one, there's that car park with the trucks and that. She really was found right there. Sometimes they say things like around this point, but they mean like a mile away. But no, they really mean right here. Okay.
FBI disciplining from outside Scarlett's Cabaret off Hallandale Beach Boulevard.
All right, that's what we want to have a look at now. Scarlet's. I want to have a look at. No, not that. I want to have a look at Scarlet's. Yeah, in Miami. All right, what do they do? It's a strip club in Miami. They call it a cabaret, but might as well just be called a strip club. What do they do here? They have a steakhouse inside of it. It looks like a very typical Miami nightclub, like strip club nightclub. A lot of girls, a lot of yeah. I'll show you. There you go. You guys can sort of see the little video. A lot of girls, a lot of drinking, a lot of bottle service, a lot of poles, a lot of lights. So it's a strip club, like any other strip club that we've all heard of and seen. Is there anything in the reviews that we might be able to piece together? What if we go to negative lowest reviews? Someone said, my wife and I go here almost once a week. Okay. Today we came in and sat at a table we always sit at, and within 30 seconds, a new security guard I've never seen before came and told us we have to order drinks to sit here. As previously stated, my wife and I come here quite often and have never heard of this rule. When I told the security guard that I frequent the building and this specific seat and never heard of that rule, he walked away and never said anything back. Then, as the dancers did their hourly rounds running their specials on dancers, my wife picked out a dancer and said, okay, 1 minute, and walked away, did a few laps around the building and walked in the back without a customer. She then dropped off her promotional shirt and never came back to us. We instantly got up and left, and the waitress asked us what happened. And when we told her, she was surprised. The same thing happened last week. Picked out a dancer during a promotion. She went to the back, dropped off the shirt, and came back requesting full price, denying the special. So they're saying a lot of people, there's a lot of comments here on the Scarlett's Cabaret of people getting ripped off. When I go through the negative reviews, there's a lot of people saying that they either got charged too much or they got charged for things they didn't order, that type of thing. A lot of people saying they went here. Um, a lot of security problems. A lot of people saying security is a problem here where people have been hurt, people have been chucked out, there's been fights. So I'm guessing that happens at a lot of different nightclubs or strip clubs, that type of thing. I don't see anything here about anyone being attacked in such a way that it might be a violent crime, something like someone really got fatally hurt. All right, let me see. Let me just check if I type this, do we get anything? I was looking to see if there was anything like historical, but there was a shooting death in 2017 of a man at a Scarlett's Cabaret, but this one was in Fort Myers, and this one is not the one that we're talking about. But nothing, the only sort of death investigation that is centered around this particular strip club is Keisha Jones's death investigation. There are no others. So I was hoping that maybe we might find something, but I don't see anything. Okay. Well, we're going to have to wait for the FBI to run their investigation. Okay. Yeah, I just wish I had more to tell you, but that is your update for it. And if we get more information as the investigation continues, I will come back and I'll tell you about it. But right now, that is your update. I really wish I had more to tell you, but there just isn't anything. Sometimes these cases go like this, where they keep a lot of the information back from the public maybe they already have a feeling of who they think is involved with this, and they're just waiting for something to come together, waiting for toxicology to rule things out, waiting for who knows, a billion different things. I'm just having a look here if there's anything I haven't told you. No, just that man in that video footage, they consider him an unidentified man, that his name or what he was doing that night and whether he has been ruled out or ruled in has not been made public. So that's all I have for you. Can I get rid of this? Yep. Content said the staff security typically give pretty good security to the girls. I would think so. Andrew said, "Is that why she moved there?" Yes. So she moved to Florida because apparently the business in Detroit for these type of workers, sex workers who do strip clubs, the work in Detroit had dried up, and she was saying that the money in Detroit was not there anymore. Uh, at one point, she was making a very good living doing this type of work in Detroit, but that she said over the last number of months, since the beginning of 2026, the money had just dried up. Like she was making only like a couple of $100 a night, as where before she was making, over $1,000 a night. And she said like she can't survive on only a little bit of money like that. And she was trying to go to Florida to see if she could make bigger money per night because yeah, she was saying the money had dried up and that the girls working in clubs in Detroit just weren't making anything, and she had like bills and an apartment to pay for and things like that. Um, Gail said they should have half women, half with men. Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing. How besides hens nights, so women that go out like before they get married and they have like a hens night, how many women would go to a strip club to see men on a weekly basis? How many do you think would do that in their daily life? I would think it's probably pretty small compared to the male population who would go to a strip club. I mean, I'm not saying that women don't do it. I'm just saying I think the the disparity between the two would be severe. Although hens nights probably make a good amount of money for clubs. They do. They have male traveling shows, but they're a little different to the female ones. I think the men's ones are a bit more theatric and a bit more like, what are those guys called? Those big guys from down under that do the sort of like the Chippendale type thing. Sweetiver said, I would have when I was younger, but did you? It's exploitative a little bit. Moneymaker. I wonder, do you reckon the women make more money or the guys make more money? I'd be interested to know what that is. The Mail Review, is that what it's called? Thunder Down Under? Interesting. Sweetiver said I did. Okay. Um, Content Angel said I don't find it fun or sexy. Fair enough. Let me see. What would it be called? Here. Why? Let me see if we get an answer. Interesting. They're saying here that strip clubs do not cater more to women due to stark differences in market demand, consumer spending habits, and the economic structure of adult entertainment. Men historically spend significantly more on direct tipping and private dances. Female groups often buy individual drinks, while male groups drive higher margin VIP bottle service sales. They're saying clubs rely on dancers paying house fees to perform, a model that fails if female patrons do not tip dancers generously. And then they said there's a visual versus psychological difference. Men generally respond to purely visual, transactional stimulation standard in strip clubs. Women usually prefer interactive, choreographed entertainment, focusing on fantasy, humor, and group bonding. They're saying here women strongly prefer traveling male reviews like Chippendales or Magic Mike Live over stationary clubs. There you go. So a lot of the reasons that we already covered. So yeah, we were pretty close to it. Um, Kaliza said, "I imagine a middle-aged Karen whipping out her phone looking for a digital coupon. That would be an interesting video." A lot of dirty old men go. Yep. I think a lot of young men go too. Content Angel said, "Yeah, the troupe from Australia is called the Thunder from Down Under, and they perform in Vegas." Interesting. I didn't know they still did that. They were around when I was a kid. Let's see. You enjoyed Magic Mike, the movie, or the actual Magic Mike mail thing? You have to let me know. You've been Content Angel. Gayla says she's been. Interesting. Interesting. Half off coupon? Half off. Half off what exactly? Half of what? That's what it is. If it's not monetary, what exactly is it half of? Let's see. So yeah, that is the update I have for it. I really hope they find out what happened to this woman. She seemed like a decent girl trying to do what she knew, which was working in these strip clubs, but also trying to save enough money that she could finally leave the strip club world. Like if you listen to her father's saying that she was sort of having to work in that environment because that's all she really knew to make money, but that she did have dreams of getting out and doing something completely different. And that's part of the reason she went to Florida, was to try and make that bigger money, to try and facilitate that dream of getting away. Whether that would have ever happened, we'll never know anymore. Now that she has been found deceased, only 31 years old, and had only been in Florida for days, not very long, and will end up being dumped into the ocean, and we still don't know why. Hopefully, we'll find out. Hopefully, here I want to leave you with one of the images from the memorial, because I think that's so lovely what they did. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. They did this like nice memorial for her with some lovely photos. Looks like they have maybe the pigeons here, or doves, and the nice white birds, and guessing this is pretty much exactly where she was found, because that's where they're holding the memorial. I hope her family figure out what happened to her, because it's a very strange story to head into Florida from Detroit to work. She was there to work, and then to wind up dead after touring a few different clubs, probably to try and figure out if she could get some work there, and ended up in the ocean, and we don't know why. Chipmunk said, "Prayers for the family and those who miss her. Justice for her." I hope so. Just because she did this for work doesn't mean she shouldn't be dealt with like a normal person. Her investigation into her death should be treated like everyone else. And I know historically in crimes, they often discount sex workers, strippers, other people who are in that industry, and pretend like they don't matter. Well, I think they do, and her family deserves to find out what happened to her, and if someone else is involved, they deserve to be held accountable for what they've done. And we're going to have to give it some time. It's already been over a month, and we still don't even have an update on if a third party is involved. So we're going to have to wait, unfortunately. I have a whole bunch of different freaking updates for you. Now, I have one, about, I think this is in Florida too. It is. I have one called Sophie Cover. She's very young, 16 years old. She's from the Gulf Coast, and she snuck out of her home on July 31st and has gone missing ever since. Like, her family cannot track her down, and her dad is devastated. Her dad would love to bring her home again. And they're saying like she has a lot of family who love her, they miss her, and they want her to come back home. I'm just trying to find, yep, here we go. I want to take you out to Gulf Coast News.
I think that she's in trouble right now. I think someone has my daughter, is what I believe. That's what I believe.
Breaking news, a desperate search for this missing 16-year-old girl that left her house in Golden Gate Estates nearly 6 days ago.
Your grandparents are going bananas, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, everybody is looking for you.
Sophia Cover is 5'7", about 115 pounds. Again, she hasn't been seen since last week. I know you've even spoken with the family, Peter.
The dad is worried, sick, that she's in danger. We're covering the Gulf Coast in Golden Gate Estates, where reporter Isaiah Soto just spoke with Sophia's dad.
Sophia Cover left in the middle of the night on July 31st. Since then, there's been no answers on her disappearance. Only a family that's desperate to see their daughter come back home.
There is no way that she's going and putting me through this for 5 days. There's no way. I don't care what the reason is.
Richard Cover feels helpless. It's been 6 days since his 16-year-old daughter Sophia Cover went missing.
She's my buddy. I thought I wasn't going to cry, man.
Video shows the last moment Sophia was seen, walking out of her 62nd Avenue Northeast home in the middle of the night.
That day, she wasn't. It was locked. So the dog's whining, so I walk around, go through the pool bathroom door, and that's unlocked. And then I walk into her bedroom, and she's nowhere to be found.
Her father has started a search online and in the community, looking for clues on where she could have gone. The family says they just moved into the area 4 months ago, but say Sophia wouldn't be capable of running away.
Everybody is looking for you. And if you're out there on your own, it's really easy to come home. You can go to any police officer. You can go to any adult that is safe.
Collier County deputies have confirmed they're turning this into a multi-agency investigation. Investigators need your help. Sophia is 5'7", 115 pounds. There are currently no leads on her whereabouts. Any information regarding Sophia's disappearance is essential in bringing her back home. Covering the
anytime they start talking about a multi-agency initiative, it makes me worried that they think there's some sort of grooming involved. When they start talking about, oh, we might need the FBI, might need something like that, a federal agency, I worry that she's been talking to people online and they've come and picked her up, convinced her to leave her home. When you hear that she's only been at this new property for, not very long, she wouldn't know the area very well. She wouldn't know very many people around that area. And maybe, yeah, I heard a lot of people think she's angry because her dad pulled her out of her own area, her old area, and took her somewhere like away from her friends, away from high school or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but you could imagine a teenager not being happy about that, removing them from their life and then taking them to some area that they know no one. I would agree. Yeah, I know I've heard this from a bunch of different people, but she's been Golden Gate States. Here, let me have a look. I think they meant Golden Gate Estate. Is that what they said? I don't remember hearing about Golden, like San Francisco. Hold on. Sophie. Yeah. Sophia Cover. Let me have a look. 16-year-old has been reported missing from Golden Gate Estate, not the state of the Golden Gates in Florida. She is from Naples in Florida and was last seen July 31st at, 12:45 a.m. in the morning. They're saying they have no information on who might have come and got her or where she might have gone. So they literally have nothing. They really don't know. So her name is Sophia Veronica Cover. That is her full name. Let me see. Yeah, I'll put up a photo of her so you guys can see it. There is a photo of her. Her father's name is Richard, and he's saying he has buried himself into the activity of trying to track her down and get her home. He said, I'm focused on going through every social media post we can from even friends so we can see if there is a glimpse of anyone. Buddy, if it has something to do with social media, it wouldn't be on her main social media. She probably has a different account, a different profile, something where she didn't want you reading it. And you're not going to find the answers on her normal social media. The thing here is, he said, the biggest thing is I'm focused on finding her more than anything else. They haven't told us a lot about the situation at home before she disappeared. Like, was there any friction? Was there something going on? Was she mad about moving away from her friends? They're saying here the disappearance comes 4 months after the family moved to the area. They don't believe Sophia would have run away and have searched online and in the local area trying to find any sign of her. I sort of disagree. Here's another photo of her. A very pretty young lady. Let's see. What else do they tell us about it? They're saying the Collier County Sheriff's Office is actively investigating her disappearance, and they want anyone with information to contact them at 239-252-9300. And so far, though, yeah, let's have a look at that. I just want to see, like, has anyone even cited her since she left home? So they're saying that when she left that house at 12:45 a.m. in the morning, she was like feeling her way through the backyard because she didn't turn on any lights and didn't use a flashlight or the sort of flashlight on a phone. She was just sort of like, walking in the dark, the pitch black outside apparently. And they're saying that she walked away with a hoodie pulled over her head and she was in her sweatpants. It wasn't until 6:15 a.m. in the morning that her dad realized that she was not in her bed and that the dog had been locked in her bedroom. So probably to stop the dog barking as she left the property. They're asking for anyone with surveillance cameras in the local area to check from July 30 to July 31st and see if there is any sighting of her or any vehicles between about midnight and about 6 a.m. in the morning. So that's what they're asking for. Yeah, definitely snuck out. Astro said she is so tiny. She's also, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully not. Is there no mom? I've not heard of any mom, but that, sometimes people don't have moms. Like, maybe they got divorced. Maybe he has custody. Maybe the mom X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Who is? Let's see. Interesting. No talk of a mum. They're saying here no mother has been talked about at all. So maybe there's something that happened. Mum could have died. Mum could have had cancer and passed away or died another way. Maybe they got divorced. There could be a million reasons why a father has the sole custody of his daughter. Could be a billion different reasons. Yeah, don't know. Jules said her friends from where they moved from, somebody must know something. He is talking to friends from the old area, but so far, no information. Espeon said there are so many single dads now, and many of them are amazing. Yes, they are. Let's see. Content Angel said, I'm surprised the news is covering this considering she did leave. Well, true. Yes. Left with her some of her clothing and then turned off her phone. Let me see. Did she take anything with her? Let's see. Did like any items? She took a change of clothes packed inside a bag, a new pair of Nike sneakers that she bought recently or her dad bought, and a hair straightener. She took her hair straightener with her. She has her mobile phone, but the location sharing app has been disabled, and the phone went completely dark hours after she left the home. So interesting that she took her hair straightener. Interesting why she would take that of all things. Yes, Anna Kepner. So it sounds like she left to do something. Hair straightener tells me like maybe she's going to get, dressed up or to look nice for something or, you know, some reason. But where her old town, which I don't know, they didn't give out where they came from. They haven't said like what area is the old area. They haven't told us. I just have a look. I have not seen that. I wonder if it's not even in Florida, because some of the wording that I see being used says they relocated back to Florida. Now that tells me maybe they were from a completely different state altogether, not even Florida. Like maybe they lived in California, Texas, New York, Virginia, like who knows? It sounds like maybe they moved pretty far away. Hey Melissa, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, where'd my other friend go? Where'd Moon Shadow go? Moon Shadow doesn't want to stay and hang with us anymore. Hey Kaliza, how are you, my friend? Moon Shadow said hi and just left. It was Philly? Philly? Hold on, are they? It's a hell of a way to go if you're trying to go back to your... Oh, yeah, it says here. The family relocated to Florida from Philadelphia. Why did it not say that the first time we looked at this? Because they had only been living in the Southwest Florida region for 5 months, her father noticed that Sophia didn't have a large circle of friends yet. Since her disappearance, her father has been actively reaching out to friends back in Philadelphia to see it. That's a hell of a way to go from Florida to Philly. If she was trying to get back to her old community, like her old buddies in Philadelphia, far out. That's ages away. Hold on. Yeah, that's so far. It's over 1,000 miles away. Like 1,100 and a handful of miles. It's over a 16-hour drive from where they live in Florida all the way to Philadelphia. Jeez. Could a friend have driven from Philadelphia all the way to Florida to come and get her? I want to know more about her mental state before that night. Was she kicking up a hell of a fuss about them leaving Philadelphia? I'm guessing yes, because why would dad be so like, I've been reaching out to all the friends back home in Philadelphia. So I have a funny feeling she's been kicking up a hell of a stink about the family having moved from there to Florida. Um, huh. Interesting. Astro said teen girls can do much more than we think. It's a long way, right? Some guys promised to drive her back to Philly. Maybe she's been reaching out to people online, like, I want to get back to Philly. Does someone drive? Can someone help me? That's very scary. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Pennsylvania? See, if I wonder if a flight is cheaper than the gas it would take. Could she board a flight in the US without ID, though? Can a 16-year-old child board a flight without a parental guardian in the US? Let me see. Oh, apparently, yes. In the US, a 16-year-old can fly solo. Most US carriers allow teenagers 15 to 17 to fly unaccompanied. So the age cutoff is 15. If you're older than 15, you can leave. But the problem that she might have is that you need to have a valid government issued ID. That is what they're saying, that you need to have some sort of government ID to be able to board your flight. Yes. Yeah, that's what it's saying. I don't know. Maybe in the real world they never check the ID. I know in Australia it says you have to have ID, and then when you board the plane, I've never shown my ID for anything. Not for domestic. International I have, but not for domestic. In domestic, you just get on the plane. You just go there, show the ticket, hop on the plane and go. So, a passport? Since 9/11, you need ID. Interesting, but in Australia, I've never shown it. Maybe not a plane then, because it doesn't sound like she has ID. So maybe not a plane to Philadelphia. It's a hell of a road trip, though. It's like over 1,000-mile drive back home. I mean, yeah, it's possible. I hope he doesn't find out his kid's back at the old. I mean, yes, that would be good too to find them, but I hope he doesn't find out she's got all the way back to Philly. Oh, they do check ID in the US. Oh, you need it for the TSA. Okay, in Australia, they never check, like, not for domestic. In domestic, I basically just showed my ticket, went through the scanner, picked up my bags or whatever, and went on the aircraft. They like hardly ever ask. Um, Anyone aged 12 to 21 has ID in Scotland. It gets you free bus travel. Interesting. Do you need a passport to fly domestic in the USA? No, not for domestic. Only if you're crossing a border. That includes like Mexico, Canada, anything like that. You need a passport. But if you're flying in the continental US, you don't need a passport. All right. Well, I hope I come back to you guys tomorrow and I have worked my vibe magic and that somehow she has been located. We're normally pretty good with missing children, and every time I talk about them, they end up being found. So I'm hoping that happens here too, and they are able to track down this young girl, but pretty scary for the dad. I just wish the dad was a little more open on why she wanted to run away, because if he could be more honest with the people, maybe people would have better ideas of where she might be. Because we all know teenagers get upset. They can get quite emotional about things, and their reasoning is not as good as adults. So they just sort of want to do. So they'll be like, "Oh, I hate it here. I want to go back to my old neighborhood," and they just go. But they don't realize they don't have a house there. They don't have, they moved to Florida, so they don't really think like that. They just go, "That's what I want," and they do it. So yeah. I'm just trying to see. So apparently, even her grandma has been posting online with these little messages to her saying, "I want you to come home. Please come home. Granny misses you," which I think is adorable. That grandma is on like TikTok and stuff, posting things about her. There's another photo of her. Here, I was going to show you what the grandma posted. Hold on. God, these bloody ads on these things. Yeah, where's grandma? Here's granny. Here's her grandma. And grandma's like, a message from great grandma to Sophia. And she was posting saying, "Please come home. I really want to hug you." And she was saying all these nice things that grandmas say. And she's like, grandma really misses you, and you're not in trouble. She's all like, "Grandma will make it okay." She's so nice. But yeah, Granny's very upset. She'd like her to come home. She said, "It's time for you to come home. I want to see you again. I'm waiting for you, Sophia. I love you. I love you. I love you." Asking for her to please come home and tell everyone where she is. Her school starts this week. She was days away from school. That's a problem. Astrid said, "If not found soon, she's coming home pregnant." I mean, no. Girls get pregnant. That's how biology works, but doesn't mean that all girls who have sex are going to end up getting pregnant. The odds of that happening are probably the odds of it happening any other time. I don't think they're like, "Oh, someone's going to put a baby in her and send her home." No, I don't think that's a real thing. Um, the girls these days are also more knowledgeable about certain stuff too. Like they know what they should be doing and what they should be asking of the guys, and that they do have a better knowledge than many years ago. Hold on. I really want to hear from grandma. I'm trying to get the video for you. Where's grandma? Oh, it won't load for me. How annoying. Look, if I can end up finding it, I'll bring it to you, but unfortunately, I can't find it. So I'll bring it to you another night. But look, hopefully I'll come back tomorrow and they have found her. So Sophia, contact your dad, or if you don't want to contact your dad, contact grandma and get grandma's help. Grandma seems to have the magic to be able to smooth over whatever's going on between you and your dad. And looks like Granny's pretty keen to have you back. And she was saying she can sort out any problem with your father. So just trust in grandma. Trust in grandma. It probably is pretty traumatizing as someone who moved around a lot as a young person. It's very rattling because you never seem to have any roots. You never know anyone. You never have those friends that everyone else has. Like, you just never end up having those type of things because you're always moving all the time. So where people have had friends since high school or primary school or elementary, you don't have those things. And it's Very annoying. Let's see. Yeah. All right. All right. I have more updates. We've got heaps of cases to talk about. Too many. I have too many cases to talk about. All right. Here. What? Sorry. Let me give you one last photo of Granny, because there you go. There's Granny. Granny says, "Come home, Sophia," and everything can be sorted out. That's what Grandma says. All right. All right. I want to go to North Carolina, and there is a freaky dude. And when I tell you about this guy, I don't know if you're going to believe me, but maybe this will give you a hint. Where's my photo? I've got a photo. Yeah. Here. All right. Does this give you a hint? When I show you this photo, what do you think of? What does this tell you? Here, can I take myself off? Tell me what this is. Jail photos? Okay. Yeah, it could be a jail photo. What if I told you this guy has been arrested so many times? He has abused people, fought people, attacked people, including women, and he went to court just a few months ago and they let him off with basically a warning, even though the guy told them that if you let this guy out, he is going to attack someone else. Well, he did. He chased down a woman who was jogging and was yelling random things at her. It was really bizarre. You're gonna have to watch it and see for yourself. So here, I'll take you out there.
I'm Colin Mayfield.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. First tonight, the Dilworth community is on edge after a man was arrested, accused of randomly attacking women and filming it all.
And police say 32-year-old Daquan Hunt is this man who is seen in now viral videos punching women without any warning. Court records show he has a history with the justice system.
WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is joining us live in Dilworth tonight. Definitely a frightening situation here, Jesse.
Absolutely frightening, disturbing, so many different words to describe what happened. But, for people who walk these streets every day, what happened is hard to shake. And although there's been an arrest in the case, folks I spoke with say their sense of security is shaken.
I mean, it's a very disturbing and sickening situation that's terrifying for everybody.
The viral video of a woman attacked in the middle of the day has left many in this tight-knit Dilworth community on edge. Now, we are only showing screen grabs from the suspect's Instagram page. The videos are too graphic to air.
The fact that, it's daytime, it's busy on the street, and so you think that that's a certain level of security in and of itself. And so for that to be so random.
Police say the victim was walking along East Boulevard last week when she is punched in the face, then drops to the ground. Business owner Bill Godwin says he helped investigators identify nearby cameras that may have helped lead police to the suspect. He's also been in touch with the victim's family.
She seems to be recovering, but it's a really tough situation for them too.
Detectives identified the attacker as Daquan Hunt, the same man seen in multiple videos circulating online, showing other attacks of women.
Yeah, that's terrible. It makes me feel unsafe for women walking alone, kids.
Court records show Hunt has been in and out of the criminal system for years. He has prior convictions for assaulting an officer, disorderly conduct, breaking and entering, and assault with a deadly weapon. Records also show multiple past charges of assault on a female and domestic violence protective order violations, but those were dismissed. While the arrest is a major step in the investigation, Godwin says it brings relief, but not peace of mind.
It's a sad and disturbing reminder that we always need to be aware of our surroundings.
So, let me show you. So I can't show you the video and I don't want to because of the female involved. It's obviously very traumatic for her. But she was chased down by this guy and was, he was saying really random things to her, things that she would have no idea about. Here, I'll show you. He chased this woman down, threw her on her back. I'm sure this woman probably thought that she was going to get R-worded. I'm sure of it. This woman's probably like, this guy is going to R-word me like right now. Because if you're a female jogger running in those, tight pants, I'm sure if a guy grabs you and throws you on the ground, you probably think that's what's going to happen. He talks about this. You still talking July 21st. Say Elijah, my son. And he keeps going on about how the authorities and all the people killed his son. This woman has nothing to do with it, doesn't know him, doesn't work for the government, and he keeps attacking people talking about this, and no one knows what he's talking about. Like, I'm not even sure if he really has a son at all. And you can see this woman, like, in this Instagram video, she was like running for her life. This is her here. I'm not going to show you her face, but she was like trying to outrun him. Eventually, he caught up to her and like threw her on the ground. This guy deserves to be in jail. He attacked a guy a while ago, about in January of this year. That guy went to the court case for it, and the DA basically said to him, "Oh, we think he's been punished enough. We're going to let him out and let him go." They basically let him out with time served, and then that guy said to the DA, he is going to kill someone eventually, and you're going to have blood on your hands. And the DA went, "Oh, well, we can only do so much." And they let him out again, and now he's attacked another woman. And then the woman says, he lifted up his shirt and I saw weapons. He had a gun, which police said they never found. He had a knife and a hatchet. He lifts up the shirt to show me what he's got, and he said, "Are you ready to die today?" She says, "I saw my life flash in front of my eyes. I didn't know what to think. I was frozen. It felt like an eternity." Here's another photo of him. And another thing about this whole thing about his son. But, you're killing my kid, and the tapes and everywhere. That's the real issue. What are you talking about? What son? There is nothing I have here that describes him as losing a son to anything. I'm not even sure if that's real or not, whether he even has a child or not. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm going to try find out for you. All right. So this is in Mecklenburg. We've been there before, and we've done a ton of cases out of there. But this poor girl, here's another photo of how she ended up. This is how she ended up. Thrown onto the ground onto her back, and this guy ranting, raving with weapons, telling her something about a son or something. I'm trying to see if I can find anything else about him. All right. Daquan Hunt. Come on, Mr. Daquan Hunt. Trying to see if he really does have a son or not. So, following his arrest, he has a sister who spoke out publicly to local news networks begging the judicial system to keep him institutionalized and properly medicated, noting the family has long struggled to find him permanent mental health intervention, and that the family would like to see him kept secure. They don't want him out there hurting other people. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, here we go.
Not a very good day right now for a lot of folks.
What's up with that McDonald's? What's up with that McDonald's? You wanna run? You wanna run? Huh? Huh? I bet you run again. I bet you run again. You said something else? You said something? You said something? You said something? You playing? You playing? You playing? What's up with that McDonald's? You Donald Trump and that other who raped my son Elijah? I'm gonna kill you.
This is the least disturbing of the two.
Yeah, so like they talk about, that is the least disturbing of the two. There is another one where he actually catches up to this woman and is basically beating on her and attacking her. You know, like the family says, they have struggled to get him a permanent placement into some sort of mental health facility. But it seems like the local community in Charlotte, North Carolina, just have to deal with him until, you know what, until he actually kills someone. Is that what's going to happen? Because this guy is getting pretty close to like basically killing someone. You know, you can't go around just attacking women on the side of the road like that. And you know, basically the community is angry. They want something done about it. Women should feel safe in the public, right? Yeah, I just want to see if this has got the other part of it. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Taking you out to another update for it.
We start with the tension in Dilworth tonight after an attack on a woman that was recorded and then put on the internet.
The suspect, Daquan Hunt, is in jail, but his criminal history is raising concerns about why he was free in the first place.
Well, Alexander Rios Malvia has more on this investigation tonight and what neighbors are saying.
Tonight, we have an update of that woman who was seen in that video that was attacked on this sidewalk in Dilworth. A spokesperson for that family says that she is now recovering at home and wanted to thank the community for their support during this difficult time.
Really, I like sent it to somebody. I said, oh my God, because I've sent like 7 different videos to people because it's in Charlotte. It's crazy.
This is where one of the women was allegedly attacked by Daquan Hunt, punched in the face seemingly without warning. The video spread quickly online and it helped lead to Hunt's arrest. We're choosing not to show it because of its graphic nature.
I could have been that woman that was walking.
And that's what has people here asking how something so random could happen in a neighborhood filled with people. Court records show Hunt has previous convictions, including assault with a deadly weapon and disorderly conduct. Many of his previous charges were dismissed. An attorney who is not involved in this case says the justice system can only punish someone for crimes they have already committed, not for what they might do in the future.
Honest opinion, I wanted to find them. I wanted to find them.
Now the attacks are sparking a bigger conversation about what could make people feel safer, including more public cameras and better access to mental health care.
You can't live in fear. You can't stop walking around and doing your thing, but I mean, that happened right here. A lot of pregnant women walking with their babies and a dog, and just, it's a lot of people my age. All you're seeing are people jogging, people biking. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah, so it's not just one woman. He's attacked multiple women on the side of the road while they are jogging or walking or whatever. It is multiple women. Sweeney said, I used to work with a woman like that. I'm not getting involved. Yeah. You would think so. The fact that he has so many mugshots, but yeah, he's done it a few different times. The community wants something done, but it sounds like they keep letting him out. Like you heard, multiple of his charges have been abandoned before they've made it to some sort of disciplinarian point in proceedings. So most of the time they just let him go, which is probably not helping the cause, because if you just let him go, he's probably like, hey, I won. I can keep doing this to whoever, women and stuff like that. And no one wins. He doesn't win. He doesn't get the help he needs. The community doesn't win because they're not safe. And it just goes round and around in a circle until, you know, we hope not, but you worry that he might kill someone. What? Did I let a grasshopper in? Yep, I did. What? Gayla said, I'm confused as they are using more than one woman in the clips. He attacked more than one woman. That's the problem. A grasshopper. Yes, a grasshopper. What? Yes, we often keep a collection of grasshoppers. I don't know what that means. All right. By the way, that young girl from San Antonio, I still do not have an update about how she died. That young 2-year-old girl, still no update about what happened to her, whether they think it's, heat-related death or something like that. I have nothing. This little girl here, Ariane, I don't have any new information for you, unfortunately. No medical examiner update. What? Go back a couple. Jules said, my front door camera just alerted me to a person at my door at 1 a.m. It was a grasshopper. Well, you should let him in. He's your buddy. He's just coming over. He wants to watch Nights with Ping. He wants a friend. You should rescue him from outside. He's obviously looking for companionship, and you should be his companion. That's what should happen. All right. Yeah, Ariane, is that how you say her name? I don't have any updates about it. There's no medical examiner thing. They're not looking for anyone. It makes me think that possibly she died from heat-related, like heat stress or something like that, which is very sad if true. But I just don't have an update for you, unfortunately. Hopefully, hopefully soon I'll have something new. But right now, there's no new updates about it. All right. I have another. Yes. I have 2 other stories. I have 3 other stories. There's been so much news in like 24 hours. There were 3 women, and I want to tackle this topic very sensitively. I just want to see if I can do it properly. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. I want to take you out to WLWT, but just remember that this is a very sensitive topic, okay?
The victim's family deals with this unthinkable tragedy. The boy's grandparents are now speaking out about their beloved William.
So they say he was a happy, smiling kid until they were blindsided just weeks ago. WLWT News 5 anchor Cherie Palello spoke with the family in an exclusive interview you'll only see right here.
Yeah, as you can imagine, this family is just devastated. In one day, they lost their daughter and their grandson. William spent every Friday and most Saturdays with his grandma and grandpa, but about 6 weeks ago, when William told them that he didn't want to go back home, everything immediately changed. They say their daughter and her partners, who all co-parented William, refused to let them see him. They visited William one time about 4 weeks ago. They say William had a little bruise on his shoulder, but that was really it. And that was the last time they saw him. Today they sat down with me because they want you to know who their grandson really was. He was on the spectrum, but he was smart and kind, and he was very loved.
Say happy birthday to you!
He loved to race Hot Wheel cars. I'm 70 years old, so he was always dragging me down into the floor to crawl and race the Hot Wheel cars.
So now someone can shoot while they're riding.
He loved strawberries, UDF cordial, cherry cordial ice cream. He loved going to Skyline to get spaghetti and cheese with chocolate milk. He was looking forward to going to his first Reds game. William's great kid, great sense of humor. When we saw him, we lit up, and when he saw us, he lit up.
If you could say something to your grandson, William, what would you say to him?
What I said to him every time he left and every time he was there, that
I love him bigger than the galaxy, and he was my William.
So when you heard what had happened, I mean, what are you thinking?
Oh, it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking.
It's like a nightmare. Doesn't feel real.
You know, at the very least, Caitlin let this happen to her son, did not protect him, did not get him out of a bad situation. So whether she physically did those things to him or not, in our mind, she's equally guilty.
All right. So you sort of see the end bit here. These are the grandparents of the child saying how much they miss him. I want to tell you about like what actually happened. So a Cincinnati mom, so it's the mom of the little boy. Her name is Caitlin. She's 38. And then two trans women. One is named Nessa Keeney. She's 23. The other one is called Kirby Rankin. She's also 23, are facing charges of murder and child endangerment following the death of William Evans, who was 7 years old. The youngster was found dead inside a home in Oakley in Cincinnati on Thursday after being tortured inside the address. An autopsy is still pending to determine his cause of death and manner of death. The trio were co-parenting the young boy, and that they were arraigned over his death. They consider him mentally handicapped. Hamilton County said they indicate both Keeney and Rankin are biological males. Evan is the boy's biological mother. According to WLWT, prosecutors said in court there was enough evidence to show that Williams was being abused over a 2-month period by the trio. It was claimed that despite neglecting and torturing the boy, they managed to take their dogs to the vet to be vaccinated the day before the boy died. And I want to show you the different people involved. So this is Caitlin Evans, the boy's mom. This is, I believe this is Rankin, and I'm just trying to load this up. Believe this is Rankin, and I believe this is Keeney. If I can get that loaded, yep. I believe this is Keeney. Now, what a horrible thing to do to such a special little boy. You saw him in those videos with the grandparents, and you even say, like, you heard they took their dog to the vet instead of taking the young boy to get medical help. And they're saying here the boy suffered visible injuries, including indicated physical beatings over his body. He also suffered impact injuries to the back of his head and had been water tortured for a period of time and had been burned. They're saying here that attorney for the boy's mother said in court that she had failed to save her son and pleaded with the judge for a $250,000 bond. Prosecutors asked for a $1 million bond on the murder charge and a further $500,000 bond on the child endangerment charge. The judge sided with the prosecution and gave her a $1.5 million bond. The boy's other biological parent, who was not identified, was given the chance to address her in court, and they said, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, telling her, "I trusted you," meaning I trusted you with our child. According to Fox 56, they also said William had been kept away from them for a long time because they were lying about, why he couldn't meet with family members, why he couldn't come and stay with them, and now we know why, because they were torturing him inside of the house. This is a horrific crime, and I'm sure the people of Cincinnati are very angry that a young little boy like this would be put through something like this. You hear some of the details: water tortured, beaten, some of the other ones burnt. And he died from neglect due to those injuries he suffered. I agree with the judge and the prosecution. Throw the book at all of them. You do that to a young child, you don't deserve to be anywhere around anyone for the rest of your life. You hurt a kid like that, you can go to the chambers. Head to this, the Sparky chamber. Have fun. You are a despicable human to do that to a small boy or a girl. But these three deserve everything that's about to come to them, and none of it is going to be good. I don't have an update on whether prosecution is seeking the death penalty, but I don't know if Cincinnati has it. Let's have a look. Cincinnati. They do. You can be found. You can be found guilty and then sentenced to death, but their executions are under a moratorium, like California right now. So they do not actually take out any death penalties right now, but they are basically, you can be sentenced to death. They just don't carry it out. They are bio women living as men, I thought. It says to me, I want to address it properly because, I don't want to like is it called misgendering people? It says here that the notes that I have call them. Yeah, let me read it properly. They are biological males who are living as females. So they would be trans females, right? So they were men, but they were living as women, so they'd be a trans female. So yes, they are biologically male, but yeah, that's what my notes say. Does she have a mustache? I don't know. Does it look like that? I don't think so. Just look like people arrested. People arrested for hurting a kid. How and what jail they go to, I got no idea. I'm not sure how it works in Cincinnati, but look, they can suffer like they made that kid suffer now, and you do that to a child, you deserve nothing. That little boy, you saw the videos of him. You do that to that little boy. They even said he is considered mentally handicapped in a way because of his autism and other medical disabilities. I thought he looked like a sweet kid. Like Granddad said, he just liked to play with his Hot Wheels on the cars on the floor, and that's what he loved doing. And then his granddad's like, he loved cherry ice cream, and he loved pasta with cheese. And I thought that's such a lovely way to sum it up about what an innocent little boy he is, and the fact that they would look after their dog over looking after that kid is like you cared more for the dog than you did for the child. It's ridiculous. But it said trans men in the thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Is that what you would call it? Maybe they got it wrong. I would have thought what I said was the correct thing. Yeah, let me double check. I would have thought it'd be the same thing. Like the same as what I said. Yeah, that's what it says here. Yeah, it is. It's what I said. They must have got it wrong. It says here, prosecutors and detectives stated in court that the 7-year-old victim was found bound with duct tape in a closet. That's how they found him, bound with duct tape in a closet. Bonds of over $1.1 million have been assigned to all three of the people involved in this. And Yep, they're going to go to jail, hopefully. I don't have any information on when they're next due in court, but I can tell you that I do have a picture of them in their jail uniforms. Why do they look like they've all got black eyes? Did you notice that? That at least this one here has a black eye, and so does this one here. I don't know why they have black eyes. Were they fighting each other too? I want to see if I can take you out to their court hearing very briefly. I can't. Unfortunately, the news service that has their court hearing is geo-blocked from me, so I'm unable to play it for you. It's annoying. Yeah, it's geo-blocked. Sorry, guys. But horrible. Very disturbing that a mum would be okay with this. You know, any mum. I want to take you out to actually the last bit I'm going to do on this one from News 2. Yeah, if I can take you out there.
Now to some developing news here. First on Fox 19 Now, 3 women now facing murder charges after a 7-year-old was found dead. Fox 19 Now's Caroline Gerhardt is joining us with the newest details.
This morning, we've learned shocking and horrifying details that have come out of the arraignment of the 3 women who were charged with the murder of William Evans, a 7-year-old boy who was living in this home you see behind me here on Madison Road in Oakley. One of the biggest questions we had this morning was these women's relationship to that little boy. We've gotten an answer to that question. We learned that Caitlin Evans is the child's mother and has entered a plea of not guilty for both of the charges of murder and felony child endangerment. Nessa Keeney, also facing those charges, claims that she did not cause harm to the child and tried to care for him, also pleading not guilty. The defense attorney for Kirby Rankin asking a judge for a competence evaluation in court this morning, claiming that she suffers from serious mental health issues. The judge ordering all 3 to be held on $1 million bonds on the murder charge and an additional $100,000 bond on the child endangerment charge. Before we get into the allegations, we do want to warn you they are deeply disturbing and troubling. Prosecutors allege this abuse began 2 months ago, with all 3 women living in the home with William. Officers say they found the boy yesterday in a closet bound with duct tape, and a homicide detective remarked that in 28 years, this is the most disturbing child abuse they've seen, and that additional injuries on the boy indicate that he was choked, tortured with water and burning, and beat, and that once an autopsy is done, additional charges could come about. William's other parent addressed the court this morning saying that William was their life and they trusted his mother to care for him. Now we know that Caitlin Evans and Nessa Keeney will be back in court on August 17th. We do not know a court date for Kirby Rankin as they've asked for that mental competency.
Oh, you definitely need something, whether it's a mental competency or a freaking lobotomy for what you've done. I don't know why you think you deserve a mental competency exam. It's not going to get you out of what you've done. You're still going to have to face court on those charges for hurting that little boy. So you can jerk the court around all you want by claiming this and claiming that. I've seen people that have been more sick than you stand trial. So if you think this is somehow going to get you out of the charges of hurting that little boy, not a hope in hell. Never. They will just fix you up with some meds and send you in front of a trial judge and be like, they're good to go. Start the trial. They won't play with your games. So yeah, he told his grandparents he liked being with them because he felt safe. And I know, right? When is it going to end? It does. The houses are pretty nice quality houses, especially in Ohio. We have so many nasty stories out of Ohio, and it's such a shame because I know people who live in Ohio, and besides a few different places, it's a lovely state. There are so many nice things in Ohio, and it's just a few areas that really have some really bad ingrained problems, and a lot of other parts of Ohio are beautiful. It's a great place. It's got, a lot of great communities out there, and it's just a few places, unfortunately, that just have some really bad crimes, and they seem to be like on the other end of the spectrum, like really bad. It's really sad. It gets a terrible name, unfortunately. Um, hey, what is going on? Someone just sent me something saying there's something going on in New York. What is it? Oh no. A 5-year-old, no, 5-month-old baby has died after a boat capsized near the State of Liberty. Isn't it called the Statue of Liberty? Near the Statue of Liberty in New York City on Saturday night. Multiple victims plunged into the water, and 2 victims, believed to be a woman and a child, were airlifted to hospital in critical condition. Oh no, that's not good. Someone just sent me this update saying we should have a look at it quickly. I don't. What's going on out there? Are they doing live coverage? No, they're not. Okay, let's have a look. Crews responded to a vessel overturned off Liberty Island in New York a couple of hours ago. Sad that a little boy died. Um, they're saying FDNY and NYPD crews are seen in the water trying to rescue people. I'm just trying to see if I can play it for you or not. Is that just a photo? Apparently, this is just a photo. Okay. I don't know what's going on. It looks like there is search crews out there. Here, I'll show you. They have all the boats out in the water trying to find maybe other victims. Terrible. I hope, well, I don't know what I hope. That they find them maybe? Crazy. Here's another photo of the search crews out there with the lights on in the water. That's a terrible time to have that happen at that time of the night. What else are they saying? Here we go. They got the spotlights out there too. There you go. Helicopter with a spotlight trying to find people in the water. Terrible to hear that at least one dead already. And we'll see what happens. 2 others medevaced out of there and maybe not well either. They're saying divers with the New York Police Department were seen entering the water rescuing passengers. Footage from the scene showed multiple emergency vessels in the water flashing lights. Harrowing cries from loved ones of the victims could be heard at the hospital. One saying, "No, why, no." Oh my God, how terrible. So, what happened? They're saying multiple victims plunged in the water, believed to be, yeah, but why did it capsize? Is it bad weather in New York tonight? It happened at like 10:25 p.m. at night around Liberty Island in New York Harbor. About a dozen people were on board when the boat flipped over. A woman and a 5-month-old infant were recovered by divers and later pronounced dead. More than a dozen survivors were pulled from the water by emergency crews and bystanders. Apparently, they've got scuba divers in the water looking for more victims, unfortunately. I'm going to try go to ABC NY and see if they've got an update on it. Let's have a look. No update out of NBC NY right now. Yeah, I'm just going to go to this one. Yeah, no, I cannot find an update out of New York for it right now. Yeah, no one's running a live stream or anything that I can find. But terrible. Terrible. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. Then no one's live streaming it out of New York, just saying that there is a vessel overturned out there right now. They apparently are running a live stream. It looks like they've killed the live stream, unfortunately. But they're saying, yeah, there are 2 people, looks like a mom and a baby, probably the first victims that we've heard about. But other than that, I can't find anything. If I get an update on this, I'll let you know. But right now, not a lot of. There is a bit of a video here that's showing you the scene. Here, I'll show you.
So the boat is proceeding back to Whitehall at this time. It looks like whoever individual was in the water has been found. Much prayers. Hopefully the individual is alive, I hope.
So if you didn't hear it, he's saying there's one victim in the water that they can't find, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for one person that's unaccounted for that's in the water. So I don't know. 10:25 p.m. at night's pretty late. Is that normal for people to be on like a residential boat at 10:25 for some sort of like party or something? Let me have a look. I would have thought if you had a little children, you probably would have headed in a lot earlier than 10:25 in the evening. All right, let me see. So far they're saying um all right, they just got eyewitness news on. Stop. All right, let me read you what I have. They're saying emergency calls. Shut up. They're saying emergency calls started coming in at 10:25 p.m. on Saturday night. Multiple agencies, FDNY, NYPD, and then the Harbor Police, US Coast Guard, scuba and aviation units have also come out. But right now they're saying about a dozen people are okay and have been pulled out of the water. But it's that mother and the 5-month-old who are really the ones who unfortunately have passed away. Possibly the woman was with the baby together. Maybe she was swaddling the child against her, and they both went into the water at the same time. But they're saying most of the victims have been rushed to NYU Hospital in Brooklyn, and that is where they are receiving treatment tonight. Geez, it's always something during the summer months in America. Yeah, it must have been like a party or it doesn't say. Yeah, I can't see a reason whether it's weather related or some sort of they crashed into rocks or anything like that. I cannot see anything. Okay, I think I got one more story for tonight, guys, and then I'm gonna get out of here. We did that one out of Cincinnati. We did the one. We did that one. Might have one more for you. I might have an update in the Greece one we can do. Just let me check my notes. Interesting. I might do that one tomorrow. I'll do the update out of Greece because this one is very interesting. We know a lot more about it now, and we know a lot more about the circumstances surrounding the death of this Scottish woman in Greece that we brought you a while ago. That 26-year-old Afghani refugee has appeared in court, and I think he's pled not guilty, and they're basically saying that now it's up to the courts to continue. His name is Sharif, and he's been jailed in Athens pending trial for the murder of Scottish aid worker Elizabeth Jane Ross. And he lied to authorities, basically saying, "Oh, I didn't know anything about it," and he had nothing to do with it. But what ended up happening is him and his wife work for a charity. Elizabeth was staying in an apartment that was owned by the charity that these two work for. And that's why he had a key to her apartment, was because it was owned by the charity that they work for, and they knew she was there. They were friends. his wife is friends with Elizabeth. I want to take you out to Sky News for the update.
Dingy abandoned warehouse here in Athens where a body was found inside a suitcase, and they were the remains of British aid worker Elizabeth Jane Ross from Edinburgh. Now, authorities here in Greece say it was difficult to identify her given her body wasn't discovered for days in a heat wave close to 40 degrees, but they finally got fingerprints after a homeless man entered here and alerted them to this grim discovery. And look, it is a grim sight altogether. There are flies everywhere, gas canisters, there are tents, food products that have been there for months, mattresses lying on the floor, and also drug paraphernalia as well.
This used to be a gas station. We used to park our cars there, but then it closed down. I got goosebumps. It was a shock. It's horrible. Horrible. For any person, this is a horrible thing to happen.
Elizabeth, who was known to family as Lisa, came here at the end of June and was staying with friends. She vanished weeks later. The prime suspect is Afghan champion boxer Sharif Amazai, who apparently set up a refugee charity in Athens after being orphaned in his home country. This is the apartment where Elizabeth had been staying, and it is thought where she died. We know that her body was removed through this walkway in the middle of this apartment block in a suitcase. And Greek policing sources are suggesting that the suspect's phone pinged in this location on a location sharing app. They suggest.
Yes, he was basically tracked down through his phone, her phone, and him using her credit cards after the time of the death. They also have CCTV of him walking down the road with the suitcase that they believe her body was inside, and then walking back without the suitcase. Now, they are saying here that they used digital forensic analysis and CCTV footage to track him, and was allegedly captured wheeling the suitcase to the abandoned building on July 16, and then using her bank cards to withdraw cash. He confessed to his actions and has been charged with homicide with intent, robbery, and weapons offenses. He's been ordered held until trial, but they're saying here that investigators believe she died via asphyxiation, and she was dead between 5 and 7 days before being discovered. Even her Facebook page was updated by the killer after she was killed. And basically, the killer's wife and her family don't like him. They never wanted them to get married because they thought he was a bad guy, and they were not approving of their wedding at all. They were like, nope, we don't approve. We don't want you to marry him. And she married him anyway. And now he has killed a friend of theirs who was involved in the same charity. That's basically what happened. He is like a boxer too, apparently. I'll take you to the BBC.
Did you kill Lisa, Sharif? A man called Sharif Amadzai has been remanded in custody in Greece, charged with killing Elizabeth Ross, a woman from Edinburgh known as Lisa. Her body was found in a suitcase in an abandoned building on the 18th of July. Amadzai was charged with homicide with intent, equivalent to murder in the UK. He was also charged with robbery and weapons offences. He's also accused of sending a series of messages from Lisa's phone to her family and friends before turning it off. Greek police say Amadzai and his wife knew Lisa after they volunteered at a refugee charity here in Athens earlier this year. Court documents claim his wife told the police she suspected her husband's involvement in the killing when she woke up in their apartment and he wasn't there. She tracked his phone to where Lisa had been staying. She later asked him why. He said he went to use the toilet after watching football at a cafe. She told investigators that when she heard a woman had been found dead close by, she was worried it was her friend Lisa inside the suitcase, especially after messages she was receiving weren't in her level of English or style. Amadzai, who came to Greece as a teenager from Afghanistan, didn't respond to the charges. His lawyer told the BBC he had exercised his right to silence so that he could present his defence in full when the case file is completed. He'll now remain in custody until his trial, which could be up to 18 months away.
You can tell, like, he lied about everything. He lied to his wife, saying, "Oh, I went there to use the toilet." Why would you go and use an apartment's toilet? Even you know there's a woman staying there on her own that is your wife's friend. Now, what's weird here is he married his wife. His wife is highly religious, very, very Christian. They married even though he does not like Christianity. The wife is big into like this charity group and helping people and spreading the word of Christ. He is so against this, it's not even funny. It it doesn't make sense why they ever got married in the first place when they have this big gulf between them about religion. And one of the things he said is that he basically killed her because his wife was hassling him and this woman was hassling him to become more involved with Christianity. It's bizarre, really, really weird. Gaylor said he gave his wife money and a new phone. Yeah, that he got from her. So she thought it was weird too. She basically knew that her husband had killed her friend and dobbed him into authorities. She's one of the people who rang authorities saying, "I think it's my husband." And yeah. She thought he changed. She thought he changed to her religion. Yeah, he never did. I think I don't think I think the only reason he married her was to stay in the country. That's it. I don't think he loved that woman at all. No wonder no wonder the family hated him and did not want them to get married. And now she has to deal with the fact that she was married to a person who murdered her friend. So they were Elizabeth and the wife were friends, and now she has to deal with that fact that she brought a man into her friend's world that killed her friend. It's very, very strange. I was going to show you if is there a photo of both of them? Um. Uh. I believe there is. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, here's the wife and him on their wedding day, and there's the both of them. And this guy was posting like anti-Christianity messages online in the lead up to killing Elizabeth. Like he was openly uh, posting like anti-Christianity messages on social media in the weeks leading up to when he killed Elizabeth. And yeah, I don't know what was going through the wife's mind, but I also believe he basically took out his frustrations with his wife on Elizabeth. And I believe that's my belief, judging from all the evidence and what's come out. I think he was having such marriage problems with his wife with this whole religion thing that he took it out on her, and that all his built up tension and rage and stuff like that, he took it out on Elizabeth. That's basically what happened. She's American. They went to Greece he went to Greece as a teenager and got refugee status. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I thought she was local for a minute. No, she's American as well. Um, yeah, I still think that that's what happened, that they had such problems in their marriage. When you hear like she's talked about it saying, "Oh, we had so many problems and it was a hard road," and that he never ever was bought into your whole Christianity charity worker way of life. And pretty obvious when he goes and murders your friend. It's yeah. Yeah, obviously not Christian. Yeah, she's the one who dobbed him in and gave the name of the friend. So she's a good person. Obviously a very decent human being. The fact that she would even call the authorities and basically dob in her partner. Um, yeah, it's just crazy. I just don't know why she married him at all. Um, yeah, here. On the night of the murder on the 15th of July, She woke up to find that her husband was missing from their bed. She used that tracking app on the phone and saw that he was at Elizabeth's apartment. When she called him, he claimed he had just stopped by to use the bathroom. Yeah, why would you ever do that? Following the murder, he gave her a large amount of unexplained money. Police later discovered that he withdrew over 10,000 euro from Elizabeth's bank accounts. His erratic behavior prompted her to contact authorities. After Elizabeth went missing, um, he basically used her phone and a secondary device to text her family and friends, including his own wife, impersonating a jihadist and claiming he killed Ross due to her Christian faith. Hmm. I believe she probably was. I don't believe that's actually the driving force here. I believe the driving force is his problems with Elena, his wife, and I believe she had been pressuring him and forcing him into Christianity, and he basically snapped and took it out on Elena and not his wife. And I believe that's probably the driving thing here. They're saying they actually ran a Christian ministry for refugees in Athens, and they have a baby boy that they had together in April of this year. Elena's extended family later stated to media that they had always harbored deep doubts about him and did not want the couple to marry. So, yeah. Yeah. Love, I don't think he loved her at all. Yes. Yes. Did he think Lisa had money? Well, she had 10,000 euro, and he was able to withdraw that from the account of her. Oh, hey, hi. Geez, what's wrong? Hi. Did you need to just stick your claws into my leg? Oh my God. Hi. What's up? Do you see that there is a cat here? He just jumped onto my lap. Hey, what's going on? He came like from nowhere and then just like attacked me. Hi. Oh, he's off again. What's wrong? All right. You can go there. All right. There you go. Crazy cat. Yep. Here's the ball crusher. That's exactly what just happened. That was painful. This cat's a boy cat. His name is Muffin. Yeah, Muffin's here. Sitting here watching the lights on the back here. Hey, hold on. Sorry, I was trying to figure out like why he's going mental. There's like a squeaky noise from our washing machine down the hallway, and he's just freaking out over it. Don't know why. Yeah, he's gone mental over it. Cats, life with cats. You saw a new chair for Pings that has. I saw those that have the flat bits on either side. Unfortunately, the new chair we have doesn't have the flat bits where he can sit, so he's going to be upset. He's going to be upset when we build the new chair. I haven't had a chance to build it yet, but I will. But he's going to be very upset. Mouse in the machine. That's what it is. He's trying to catch it. That's what it is. Um, yours is called Wacko de Cracko. Well, that's an interesting name for a cat. By the way, before we go, there's your update about the Greece thing, by the way. Very sad. They did track him down real fast, which is good. Um, I still think, like I said, the driving reason will be problems with his wife, Elena, and he basically took it out on their friend, Elizabeth. Why, how do you know? These killers, you never really know why. Um, by the way, this is in the Pacific Northwest, and I wanted to show you because we have a lot of people from the PNW on the show. This is a fire tornado that got underway in your fires in the Pacific Northwest, one of the largest that I have ever seen. This thing is freaking huge, and I will be interested to hear what the National Weather Service has to say what rating it is, whether it's an EF2, an EF3. So if you don't know what this is a real tornado. It is not a fire whirl. A fire whirl is just where the fire sort of spins into like a tornado-like shape. This is a real tornado that has touched down in the fire area. And how it happens is these fires can make their own thunderstorms above the fire. And it's from all the burning of the moisture and ash particles. They go up into the atmosphere and they make clouds. And they can actually make lightning that starts new fires in front of the fire. But if you get enough of these clouds and they start turning into a thunderstorm, and you have the right conditions, they can put down a fire tornado. And that is what happened here in the Pacific Northwest. A fire tornado has touched down, and there's video of this thing, and it is sucking in air from all directions. You can sort of see it on that photo, and it is crazy. Here's the video. I'll get this. Look at this thing. Look at that. It's got multiple vortices on the inside of the tornado rotating around the parent thunderstorm. Look at those. Look, there you go. Vortices on the inside, multi-vortex fire tornado. Just like you'd see in like Oklahoma or Kansas, Illinois. One of the craziest videos of a fire tornado I have ever seen. Insane. Really, really crazy. So that's a real tornado. And there you go. You can see all the multiple vortex and all the air getting drawn in to the tornado. So it's like a wedge tornado. So that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen out of there. All right, we found out what the squeaking was. It was a fire alarm out in the front. So we could hear it, but it was like squeak, squeak, squeak. I've never heard a fire alarm make that noise before, but it was a fire alarm and it was going off. For what reason? Actually, hold on. Yeah. I don't know what was setting it off, but there was a fire alarm going off. Did Muffin? No, no, no. I had to run for a second. Sorry, guys. Because Muffin was going ballistic, and I was like, what is causing him to go like crazy? But it was there was a fire alarm going off for ages, and I just ran into my neighbor and he's like, I'm taking care of it. So yeah, someone either burnt toast, but why they didn't come out and fix their own fire alarm, because it's right out the front of their place, I don't know. Yeah, no, we're here. So yeah, sorry about that. It just got louder and louder and louder. I was like, what the hell's going on? It was a fire alarm. So someone has burnt their dinner, most likely. Someone has burnt their Sunday afternoon dinner. So yeah, there you go. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? That tornado, guys. I think that is absolutely insane to happen. So this happened in the Pacific Northwest. I don't have like an area of where, just somewhere in the southeast Oregon is what they're saying. So somewhere in southeast Oregon. Where is it? In Harney County. In Harney County. If you've ever been to Harney County, I can't say I've ever been there, but it is pretty awesome. Let me see if there's a better video of it. Don't have a better video of it, but that was dope as hell. Oh, there was another one in Utah. Wow, check this out. There was another one in Utah last week. I don't know if this is a real one or not, but look at this one. A little one. This is not like that big one I just showed you. Look at this. Oh, that's a real one. Wow. Just a lot smaller. That other one was huge. There's this one in Utah too. So multiple fire tornadoes in America in the last week. That is interesting. I don't think I've seen so many in one time before. Yeah, let's cancel that. There we go. Yeah, pretty awesome. So keep safe out there, everyone. Keep safe. I will be back. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you then. All right. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. See you later. Oh, we didn't say. Oh, I didn't check if there was any donations. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I didn't even check. I get so caught up in doing all this stuff. Not tonight, but Kathy did one last time. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. You can find the links in the video, just like here or whatever, or under the video if you want to. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Good night, everyone. Bye.